What's up, y'all? This is Black Star. Doing a pregame interview with Tricky, aka TrickyEileen, for Sunday Night Raw. Just a little pregame interview, going over basic questions. And I got 7 questions right here. It should be real quick. So, just want to say what's up, Tricky.
Yo, what's good, Black Star? I'm glad you were able to put this together. This is pretty cool, man.
Yeah, man, it's pretty fun, man. I'm just trying to get people something to look forward to every week. Maybe build from there.
No, that's really good for the community, man. Cause like having a regular kind of hype built kind of event is cool. It's like a
Yeah,
pizza.
and then like this is like mostly inspired from like the first attendance from last year, particularly you and Tony Familia. So, well, now we're on the subject. If you want to talk a little bit about that, what do you think of that? How did that go?
Yeah, I've actually rewatched that set since then, um, and it was intense, man. Like
Yeah.
I was like shaky, and I look back and I made all these mistakes, didn't know what I was doing, and all these holes in my game. And then I fought Tony since then, and he's still playing the game. So I'm glad he's still in there. I don't see him a lot, but I know he's there a lot. I just don't come across him anymore. So
Yeah, he still plays from what I see. He's not on as often anymore, but he still plays a lot, and he sends people like room match requests and things like that. But yeah, just going over it real quick to people who don't know, they had a first to 10 last year. It was a kind of sort of a grudge match online hosted by Chibiaya. It was first to 10 between Tony Familia and Tricky, and it was like probably the hypest set I've seen in VF in a long time. If not, well, yeah, just probably in a long time because how was it? It was 6-0,
I was
right?
getting destroyed. Like I got destroyed the first like because I was mad because of lag, and I was just mad because it was a grudge match, and I was like legitimately angry. So like I don't fight my best when I'm angry. I have to like
uh,
I'm like a Zen fighter. I have to be calm. So
yes.
like if you ever watch me play on stream and you see my like the one where we do at New York City Tuesday nights where we have videos of the players,
Yep.
my face is always calm during the set. Like I might smile if I'm having a good time, or like I'll, I'll give guy props when it's casual. But when it's tournament, when it's business time, there's no smiles on my face. I'm just there to beat the hell out of you, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense because, like, a lot of people. There's some people out there. Every player is different. There's some people out there who feed off like energy and emotion, things like that.
Yes.
It makes them stronger. But others, it's like a distraction.
Right.
Just trying to focus on your thoughts. But you get distracted by the emotion. So it's like, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, yeah. So I had to calm myself down during that set. And once I started to calm down and like not get so angry about lag and just kind of deal with it, that's when I started to do a lot better.
Yeah.
And he also, I mean, I'm pretty sure at some point like he wasn't playing at his strongest because he felt like he had a big lead. I don't know. I haven't talked to him about that, but just it looked like it was happening in his play style. Like he just kind of wasn't playing as tight as he was earlier, which could
Yeah.
be a lot of things. But I just noticed that, and then that gave me an opening to start to get some kind of momentum on him. And once
Yeah.
I got the momentum back, uh, I felt, and I got to a point where I was like, "Oh, all right, I'm not done yet. I can still beat this dude." Then it was kind of like it was bad for him at that point because even when he was fighting more solid, I'd already built up my confidence and built up my momentum that it didn't matter anymore.
Yeah, it was that momentum pretty much changed everything, and everybody got hype. It was like GBI, who was the host, he was the announcer. He got hype. You could hear it through his voice. The whole chat room, all of us, like SDS and like I think Shiny was there, and like all the VFDCers was in there just cheering you on, and just it was just like really, really hype. It was like a prize fight, like a pay-per-view fight.
I
So
wish
yeah,
I could have seen that chat.
yeah, chat exploded, man. And we were all betting our tricky bucks on you. But that's all I gotta say about that. But yeah, I don't want to dwell too long on that. I want to get to the questions too. So
Right.
but at the same time, go look that up. It's on YouTube. TBI did a recording on that. Flash did a recording on that. So he's got like 1,000 views on that. I don't know who was watching all them times,
I know, right?
but I was like, wow. But anyway, it's on YouTube. You can find it. Tricky versus Tony
Tony Philly.
Familia. But yeah, now getting to the questions. I have seven questions for Tricky to
Yeah, but
answer.
new challenger appears. Even Pit, right?
Oh yeah, new challenger, right? Pretty much. But yeah, okay. Let me get to the first question. Okay, and this is a basic question. How did you get started playing VF, and what do you like about it?
Yeah. I started playing VF in the bedroom of my buddy back in when I was like he lived down the block from me, and we were little kids, and he had the Sega Saturn. He was the guy who had all the video games, and he had VF2 and VF1 remix on his Saturn. That's how I started playing VF, and I used to beat my crew pretty well after I learned the game, and then I kind of moved on to another crew when I got to Pittsburgh for college. I met a guy who goes by Herc Dog the Third. He and I started to play Virtual Fire together, and that's where I grew a lot. To a point where that's where I found Eileen, and that's also where I grew in skill. And then when I came to New York City, where I'm at now, I was able to get a lot better because there's just so many strong players over here. And what I like about the game is that, well, for one, it's not execution intensive. Like there are difficult things to do, but it's not like I don't have the time or the patience or the I think dexterity, honestly, to play a game like Marvel. Like I just can't move my fingers that fast,
Yeah.
that consistently, with that much stuff going on at the same time. So for me, VF is kind of an easier game to play. There's less to worry about, and I can just think about the mix up, getting into my head of my opponent without worrying too much about how am I going to input this complicated thing I have to do.
Oh yeah. VF is pretty much the easiest. Probably only tied with Soul Calibur for easiest execution. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Playing Spider-Man and Marvel, and Dante
Oh
and
God,
Doom.
Spider-Man and Marvel. He's so cool too. I wish I could play him.
Oh man, he is cool, but yo, he's got terrible matchups, and that's why he's not in the top 10 ever or top 8. But anyway, it's like you have to dedicate a whole lot of time just practicing execution and landing your stuff, And then VF is like you can focus more on strategy, so I can see that.
Yeah, and that would draw over to the game, the strategy aspect.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess that takes care of that question. Let me go on to the second question. Okay, can you tell us how you got your tag, Tricky, or AKA TrickyEileen, or whatever you want to call it?
Yeah. And some of the guys in the New York City crew would want to add a tricky 9,000K,
Yeah.
or Jacko would say tricky scrub kick.
Oh man, with that 9,000K, they'll find out what it's gonna be like tonight. So yeah, they'll know.
Yeah. We'll see. Even Pitt knows about it. So like the way like there's 9K and then there's 9,000K, and 9Ks are like the ones you just kind of throw out of nowhere. Like you just randomly hit a 9K and hope it hits.
Yeah.
But a 9,000K has to be baited. It has to be a situation where like they couldn't not get hit by a 9K. Like that was a moment to get launched. And like I backdash, you do a move out, you got 9K. That's a 9,000K. This shit's hard to do sometimes, but it's really good. It's a good has good properties, so it's not too hard to do.
Oh man, really good move.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'd use it a lot too if I played her. So yeah, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they'll find out. They'll find all about 9K when they see the match. They'll know, or when they see the set, they'll know all about it by then.
But I'm not too particular between Tricky or TrickyEileen. I normally use TrickyEileen in like on like subscribe services where like I can't use Tricky because it's a really common kind of a word.
Yeah.
So it's only taken in places. But Tricky Eileen's there because the name Tricky comes with Eileen to me. Like when I was playing VF with my boy Hurt Dog, I didn't have a PS3 when the PS3 version was the only one out. So I go to his house to play on his PS3 pad, which was difficult for me to do at the time. And I named my, because back in that version you had to name each character you wanted to use if you wanted to customize them. So my
Yeah.
character, I named her Tricky because I thought she looked her fighting style and her like this way of attacking was a tricky style because of her ability to cancel, and you couldn't really know what she was going to do next. I thought that was really cool. So I just named her that. And then I became proficient with her and decided when I just joined BFDC and the fighting game community as a whole to just go by that name Tricky because I was going to be using Eileen. And I kind of wanted a name that embodied what I thought Eileen was about. So Tricky Eileen is still, like as a name, is still like the same to me as Tricky. It's just one is, I might move toward Tricky Eileen if I ever were to try other characters more seriously.
Yeah, I mean, it really fits and it rolls off the tongue too. So it's like, it's a really fitting name to be honest. Tricky or Tricky Eileen. Okay, so the third question would be, how would you describe your personal fighting style? What are your strengths and weaknesses?
Yeah, I've talked a lot about this with like people like General Thief and Denkai and Rodney and Sick Kid and SDS, all the guys in the area who I play a lot because we talk about each other's styles and how to beat each other and stuff. I mean, we don't talk directly to each other. We talk to the other people who play the guy, and then we figure out ways to beat him. So the what I'm often told about is that I have a very aggressive style that is Rodney says it's like one style, like I have one way of playing. I kind of disagree with that, but I mean, if that's what he sees, that's what he sees. I like to be up close to you. That's my most comfortable place. So a weakness I've had for a long time is range game, is fighting from a distance. Part of that's a problem with Eileen as a character, but that's something I've been actively working on, not having be a big weakness of mine. Another, so like 9000K actually helped my range game a lot because it's a good range move.
Yes, to say the least.
Yeah, that's damn good. It's damn good for range. Her force XP, which is like her eye poke, where she kind of ducks under highs, is also a pretty good range move, and it comes out really, really fast. Other things, I like mix-ups. I want to overwhelm my opponent. I want you not to get a chance to think about what the hell's happening, and that by the time you do have a chance to think about that, you're either on the ground about to tech roll, or you're on the ground afraid to tech roll because you've been in a vortex loop for too long, or you just haven't had a chance to figure out what just happened. So like I kind of want you not, at least in this version of VF with my character, I don't want you to get a chance to play in a sense. I want you to stay on the ground and to be dealing with my Oki situations, so that I can keep my game close to you, and so that you have to deal with situations that are high damage but aren't much risk for me. That's a problem Eileen can have in this game.
That makes sense. You know, it's funny because I never thought of Eileen as like a Okizeme character, but you incorporate that in the style and it makes it work like really well.
Yeah. Like if I'm having a hard time beating somebody, or like if you look at sets where like I'll lose, or sets where I have a hard time, or players I have a hard time against, you'll notice that I can't knock them down, and that when I start to win, I'm knocking them down a lot, and they're getting caught in Oki situations. So she has really strong Okizeme. Also, I like being on your side.
Yeah.
I'll be on your side all day.
Oh man, it's scary right there, getting a side turn by Eileen.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's like I could see, the stubby limbs that she has and how that could be like, a problem. But she has a couple of moves, as you told, getting close where she wants to be. Definitely.
Yeah, yeah, and you can extend the range of her moves by incorporating like a quick dash. You may not even be able to see the dash, but if you do the dash and then do a move, it'll extend the range of your move by a lot, and that's something that I've been using more recently to strengthen my mid long range games.
That's what's up. Yeah, well, we'll be able to see it when the set comes. I hope to see it, man.
Yeah, even Pit likes to fight from range too. He can be a runner at times, but he'll like run and then he'll attack and then he'll run some more. So it, it, it's hard to predict that aspect of his gameplay.
Yeah, it's personal style though. If it works, can't be mad at it.
That's right.
It gets the W.
That's
Okay,
right.
I think I got my couple of questions mixed up, but I'll ask them out of order.
Yeah, go
Okay,
for it.
what does this set mean to you? What do you think of this as a grudge match? This you versus Even Pit. You have any personal history, anything like that?
Well, even Pitt's been using Eileen for a while now, and something some of the guys sometimes say when they're like, "Oh yeah, I fought even Pit." I think it's Shiny who says that. He'll say like he was fighting Tricky Light. That's what he'll say.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like Shibuya has been telling Even Pit for a while that like he needs to like get out of my my playstyle shadow in a sense and like kind of grow as an Eileen player on his own. Uh, so so to me, this set is like his opportunity to do that. I think if he does well, even if he gets beat, which I mean, I think he's gonna get beat because I'm playing him and I don't want to lose, so I'm gonna play him pretty hard. But I think if he does well, then he'll kind of have his big boy pants on or big girl skirt because he's Eileen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely he's trying to make himself his own player now, a lot more than like the end of last year. Because I mean, to be honest, it seemed like he looked up to you, and he I wouldn't say X copy, but a lot of the basics of Eileen he probably learned from you. So, but now he's starting to separate his own player. He's picking his own subs and stuff like that. He plays a lot of Wolf. He
Mm-hmm.
played another character. I think it was John or something like that. So he's like discovering new aspects of the game. But yeah, this you're definitely right. It seems like this will be his breakout chance. Kind of
Yeah, and I
like
want that for him because I mean the best part about having people, the hardest thing for me when I first used Eileen back when I joined the VFTC is that there was only one other Eileen player and he wasn't terribly active. And when you don't know a game and you're trying to learn it, it's hard when you don't have anyone to go to learn the game from. So I'm really happy to see with this version of VEF and with a lot of the efforts I tried to put forth with getting information out there about the character. That a lot more people are picking her up, and a lot of people are using her on different levels. And I learn things from those players. Like I see things that they do. I mean, I may see the potential in the mix-up. I'll see the hole they're doing, but I'll think, oh, that's a good way to do this. Let me try and take this idea and run with it and see what I can get. So I would love for Ethan to be doing things that I wouldn't think of doing, and then so I can steal them from him, basically.
yeah. I mean, and then to be honest, from a spectator's point of view, it'd be cool to see a clash of different styles. Like it's one thing to see a player represent their character, but when you see the same character represented differently and how it can be played differently, see the different strengths and weaknesses of each style, it's interesting. So yeah, I'd like to see that.
Yeah, and his style is different than mine. His style is, I mean, he uses some similar things that I do, but I think his natural style of playing is a different style than mine. And once he gets into that, he'll be a stronger player.
Definitely. All right, let me get to the next question. All right, let's be totally honest here. It's like no holds bar. It's gonna be flat out truth, honesty. First thing that comes to mind. Okay, the question is, how do you think the set will go? How do you think you'll do versus Even Pit?
I think he's gonna get bopped. I'm gonna crush
Okay, we got scores. We got scores.
him. That's good. Well, if we're doing first to five, he might get two. If I'm being generous, like really generous, he'll get three. Um,
It's up to y'all. We can do first to 10 because like we don't have anything. Honestly, we don't have any other exhibitions. So
well, if we do first to 10, it's weird. Like when I say first to five, he'll get like maybe two or three.
yeah.
But when I say first to 10, the last time we did first to 10, he got he made it was 1 to 10 or 2 to 10, some shit like that. It was pretty.
He got scraped, huh?
That's great. Yeah, yeah. So
So okay, so that's the standard he's got to work from, right? He's got to build from that. If he don't change, if he didn't change anything, if he didn't put his practice in, it's 10-2. Is that what you're saying?
pretty much, cause like I know he's working on mix-ups and like working on and stuff, but it's beyond just mix-ups. It's adapting to what I'm doing to you, and you can't practice that in dojo mode. You gotta practice that on a player.
That's true. I learned that myself the hard way. So yeah, that's definitely true. And I have to say he definitely has a hill to climb either way. But I think it's possible he can do it. But we'll see. We'll see when the set comes.
Yep.
All right. Next question. Okay. Another big thing. Tell us about the punishment of the loser that y'all agreed on.
Yeah. So we talked about we both play GTA 5 online. And we actually we like roll together and we'll like kill people together in that game. It's a lot of fun. So it's a pain in the ass to make money in that game too. But it's gonna be this stimulus package where we're all gonna get $500,000 in the game. So I think we agreed to the loser has to give the winner $1,000. Well, I mean $100,000 in the game.
100 or 1,000?
100,000.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Which is like a good maybe like 2 days worth of grinding, but we're all gonna have 250K like next week just given to us in our bank. So it won't be too hard. How we're gonna change that money, I don't exactly know because the money system isn't so easy.
Yeah.
I think there was another thing we were gonna have to do. I think that's it. I think that's it right now.
So no friend requesting like last week.
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna have to happen or not.
Okay, that's cool. So basically, in GTA, somebody's gonna be the bookie and somebody's gonna be the flunky.
Yep.
That'll work. It's pretty cool. All right, last question, and this is a general question for any players that are interested in playing Eileen. You have any advice for anyone interested in those starting to learn Eileen?
Yeah. First thing might be the boring thing to think about, but defense, man. Defense is really important with her because she's so light, and defense isn't just blocking or evading or even lazy throw escaping. Those things are defense too, but that's not what I mean when I say defense. What I mean by defense is understanding where you are in the ring. Like when I watch the Japanese tournament streams, the recent ones, the even when the Eileen player is stronger than what I think their opposition is, they can lose not because she takes more damage. That's not what kills her. What kills her are ring outs. She can get carried to the edge of the ring very easily from seemingly from places that seem like you shouldn't be able to ring her out from. So that's what you have to defend against: ring outs. Getting hit, it's not that big a deal. That's not where the losses are going to come from. It's going to come from getting rung out, and a little bit from wall combos. Not so much because Eileen can use walls pretty well too. But the ring outs really that's something you got to watch out for. Offensively, be simple. Don't try to do too much. Just like her elbow is really really good. Her 6P is amazing. And natural combos into her follow up P. which leaves you negative. But if you can get your opponent not to know and to hesitate after they block your P or after they get hit by your P, not to hit another button because they might get counter hit with your next attack, that's a powerful mechanism to have there. And then if someone thinks that they want to now do a 2P after you hit them or they block your elbow because they think you're going to do the high follow up, now you can use 6P into your 9P. And your 9P is going to destroy all those all up to -9. So, I mean, actually, even beyond -9, but they should be throwing you at that point. We're using guaranteed damage. If they're 2Ping you're going to beat them anyway. At that point. Other things I would say is understand how to cancel into things. Like know her cancelable moves, all of them, but specifically her 4KG. That's a really important move. It's one of her hop kicks, and it changes stances, and it's a very damaging move. Her 3P, really important, and don't feel afraid to use 3PP either. Even though it's a foul -13, -13 isn't a lot. That doesn't mean a lot to a lot of characters. For Eileen, it means a lot. If I'm at -13, I can do a pretty good move, but a lot of the cast can't do much against you. So just throw it out there if you feel like it. Kick confirm your 4PK into 4P plus K into triple kicks, her core circle forward KKK, or her core circle back KG on counter hit, which is also a half circular. What's another key move? So 3P, 4K, 4PK, and her 4-3P plus K, which is her double hand move. That's also, you can confirm that into her triple kicks or her core circle back KG. And that move can start a vortex, by the way. That's my vortex loop move. That's about it. Defense, 6Ps, know your cancel moves, and know your hit confirms on the triple kicks and core circle back kicks. And watch the edge of the ring. I'm going to try and abuse even pit for that in our set.
Oh man, he might be. That'd be messed up if he's free to that, man. Don't let that happen. Don't let that happen, even pit.
He's pretty afraid of the edge of the ring. So we'll see what he does with that. He also uses more optimized combos against Eileen than I do.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So against him, on average, I'll take more damage from a combo than he'll take from me. But we also have different focuses. So like he's going for pure damage. It's almost like the Cell Saga in DBZ when Trunks and Vegeta were training, and Trunks trained all the way to become really strong, but he slowed down while like his speed was reduced. But Vegeta got really strong, realized his speed was going to get reduced, so he just stayed at a point where he could still hit people. And that's kind of how I'm seeing this. Like he goes for max damage, but the Oki situation isn't nearly as good. Well, I go for a little bit less damage, but I want that good Oki so that I can pressure you because it gives me more flexibility. And that's something to look out for in our set.
Yeah, that could be dangerous because, if you get one hit and that's 90 damage, or one guess and it's 90 damage, is one thing. But if you get two wrong guesses and it's 140, so it's like, that changes the entire game right there. It's like X Factor to a point. So
yeah, basically.
Yeah, but I'm probably gonna be replaying this myself because I'm trying to learn different characters to figure out how to fight them. So I'm probably gonna be playing this a couple of times myself. So this is some really good advice right here.
Yeah, it also gives you an idea of how to fight against. Well, at least my Eileen in particular. I don't see, except for the Japanese Eileen players, I don't see a lot of the other Eileens here do play like that yet. So yeah, it's just hard. It takes a lot of dedication to the character to get these kind of specific ways of playing. Like the matchups for her. Again, I can't speak for other characters, but for mine, her matchups are so different. How I have to fight against one character versus another character is so vastly different, and the focus of what I have to do, what moves I have to focus on, changes drastically. So it's fun. That's part of why I like it. Like it's not boring.
Yeah, I mean it's cool to see, man. I can't wait to see it in action, man. Come the time for the set, but I'm assuming it's gonna be first to 10, right? Would you be open for doing that?
Yeah. I think first to ten's the way to do it.
Okay, so yeah, we spend probably a good hour on that, but yeah, I know you got to go. I know you got things to do.
Yeah, I gotta
I want
run.
to hold you up. So last thing, real quick, do you have any shout outs? Do you have any players or people you want to shout out to, or yeah, things like that? Any stream names?
Yeah.
Twitter.
I mean, I should. I want to give the New York City crew. The guys on Tuesdays playing every night on 7 o'clock. I miss you guys because I can't go out anymore like I was. So like Sal Cruz holding it down, Shag and Tech Monkey always putting that stream up, making it look pretty and crisp. Uh,
Yeah,
Even though he won't lower the quality sometimes for us
yeah, that's true.
coffee folks like myself or Mac users can't handle that 726 frame P beautifulness. But yeah, those guys, Rod Denkai, I gave him a shout out earlier in the stream. Most of the guys I play, Shinobi Fist, Yangzi, Chibi, I miss you, man.
Yeah, we all miss you.
Yeah, and Hurt Dog, yeah, give Hurt Dog a shout out. I haven't played him in a long time either.
Out of work, man. I guess I'll cut it off right there unless you got anything else.
No, that's about it.
All right, man. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. This is Tricky, aka Tricky Eileen. The Tricky of New York, the Tricky of America, pretty much. We're gonna see him in the first to 10 set versus Even Pit on Sunday, October 13th, 2013, at 7 p.m. Eastern. So check us out. All right, we'll catch y'all later, and peace.
Peace out.